I'm news columnist John A. Torres, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Inside Murder on the Space Coast, where we will talk about and recap previous episodes. Now, spoiler alert, if you have not listened to the first two episodes of Season 3 of Murder on the Space Coast, Where is Brandy Hall? Stop right now and go and listen to that before you come back here and listen to us. As you may or may not know, I'm John A. Torres. I'm the writer, narrator, and reporter for the entire series of Murder on the Space Coast. The producer is Rob Landers, and the editor is Mara Bellaby. And next to me is Jessica Saggio, and she is going to be my co-host on Inside Murder on the Space Coast. So welcome, Jess.
Great to be here.
Good. Try to hold down your excitement, please. Okay.
You smile at this horrible murder mystery?
I know.
I don't know what to do with my face right now.
We are going to try and solve it, or maybe help the police somehow. But anyway, we will get to that soon. One of the main reasons we have Jessica on the show, well, she's talented and funny and intelligent, is that she doesn't know anything about Brandy Hall. And when she found out that I was working on this podcast, she purposely did not read one story at all in the archives about Brandy Hall, but she wanted to experience the podcast fresh. So all that being said, you've listened to episodes 1 and 2, as hopefully you have. And what are your impressions so far?
So the whole Brandy Hall thing happened after I had left Brevard County, which is kind of why I'm probably the 1% of this entire area that has never heard anything of it. I went off to college, and when you go off to college, it's like out of sight, out of mind. So when I was introduced into this podcast, which I just listened to both of them yesterday, I was pretty blown away. What a mysterious thing that's happened with, well, so far that I've listened to, no answers.
Right. I mean, how can somebody just vanish, right? I mean, that's really scary when you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, and little kids, that's the first thing that hit me. I was like,
right, because you're a mom.
Yeah,
right?
I've
you
got
have two kids at home.
Yeah.
And Brandy had like 2 kids, and she was about 32 years old. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're 30 yet, but you might be.
I'm
close.
30. We're pretty close. We're pretty close.
Okay, so it's like as if you just vanished.
Right. No, it hit home because it's like, I'm not a firefighter, and I'm probably the opposite personality as her, but the whole thing, and then the last video of her driving away and that being it.
It's really eerie, isn't it?
It's so eerie, and I can't believe that I didn't know about this.
Right, and what's great about our jobs, Jess, right, is that we get to meet all types of people. Mm-hmm. And one of the things in reporting this is I met this guy who, if you have listened to episode 1, he's kind of like the star of the episode.
Yeah.
Sid Lydall.
Yeah. And
he's this 78-year-old. Kind of old, cranky, retired detective who has made this his life's work, his obsession almost.
Right. He's like the kind of guy that you would want to give a beer and sit around a fire with and hear him just tell stories. I could listen to him all day, and it's remarkable what he's doing. The guy's retired.
Yeah. He's
come out of retirement. He's aging. He should be sitting on a beach somewhere doing nothing, but he's out there still looking for her.
Right.
It's nuts.
And he's never even met Brandy Hall. And I'm glad you said you could listen to him all day, because hopefully producer Rob Landers can insert a clip of Sid Lydall right here.
I would pray that we do find her, but whether we will or not, I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm not going to quit. I lost my best cheerleader, my wife. She was always saying, here, do this or do that, here's some money, go buy some more signs or something. So, but I'm dedicated. I'll do it for as long as I live. I'll be out there doing something with it. I've got another 100 signs I got to put up. I can't be on a ladder. I'm a little unsteady because of my hip replacement. So I've got to find a volunteer. I'll hold the ladder, and he gets up and nails them to the tree.
So that was retired detective and my friend now, Sid Lydall. And just to backtrack 1 second, we're in my kind of special podcast room, and behind me is the board where I have just put up things that just help me they inspire me, Jess, mm-hmm. To sort of work on the podcast. And you're absolutely right. This is a grim topic, and it's a sad topic. And speaking of sad, one of the toughest interviews I've ever had to do was Brandy's mom right here in this room, Debbie Rogie. As a mom yourself, what did you take away from listening to her in episodes 1 and 2?
So there's a clip of her that's played a couple of times if you've listened to it, and it just punches you right in the gut if you're a mom, because you just know that feeling. I would feel the exact same way if one of my little girls went missing. You can just tell that this wasn't just like a random woman. This was somebody's daughter, and you can hear the desperation in her voice, and put yourself in that position, questioning the same things. I mean, she's looking up to God saying, why? Like, where is she? Why isn't there an answer? We just want to know, where, if she's out there, is she still out there? If she's dead, is she dead? Like, they needed answers. And you could hear that in the quiver of her voice, which is just heartbreaking.
And one of the main reasons a few years ago we decided to start to tell investigative stories via podcast is because you can read a quote in the paper. Mm-hmm. And you can read about somebody in the paper, and you can make your own decisions and judgments on Brandy Hall's lifestyle, her life, whatever. But when you hear the voice of the people that are affected, when you hear her children, her mother, friends, it really brings it home. And here is a clip, hopefully if producer Rob is going to come through for us again, her mom, Debbie Rogie. Somebody has to know something. What do you want to say to the people that might know where Brandy is, or what happened to her, or what?
I don't know. Somebody knows something. It's been over 11 years. I mean, if you want to talk to me privately, talk to me privately. I want to know where my daughter is. I want to know what happened to my daughter. I mean, if you're on your deathbed eventually, I want to talk to you, because I don't want to go to my deathbed and not know where my daughter's at. I need my daughter. She's my daughter.
But
it's okay.
When the phone rings and stuff, do you hope it's her? Do you hope to hear her voice on the other end?
Oh yes. Every breath I take is for her, to pray for her. Like every breath, it's like I'm hoping to see her walk in that door. Just every second, and I know it's coming. I know it is, because somebody's got to. It's time. It's way past time, and I just know God's gonna let us know, because.
Yeah, I mean, you guys need some peace, right?
Yes.
Need some peace now, and
yes. Just somebody tell me where my daughter's at. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Go screaming, or what do I need to do? It's like, where is my daughter? Where are you, Brandy? Where are you? Dear God, where are you?
yeah, so that was really tough. And Brandy, episode 2 is about Brandy growing up, and we thought it was important just to try to present her just as like an everyday person. And
mm-hmm.
What did you take away from her childhood, or her her early life?
So I grew up in mostly in North Brevard. So I went to school with a lot of people like Brandy, who lived that lifestyle, who lived out in the country and rode ATVs and
enjoyed hiking and fishing and stuff.
Yeah. Probably wore camo. So she was somebody that I would have probably known had we have been the same age in the same world, which is eerie in and of
chilling,
itself.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, and to hear what she went through as a child, she had that accident. Of course, the first thing I did, and this is just the human side of me, I Google imaged her, because I was like, I gotta see what she was so self-conscious about. And I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either,
she's beautiful.
Right.
I didn't even, I was like, what is she self-conscious about? She's
right, I agree.
a pretty girl. So that was one of those things that I just had to do right away. Because when you're listening, you create the picture of what these people look like in your head, and then you come in here and look at his storyboard, and you're like, what? Right. That's what they look like?
We can't accommodate all of you to, enter my office and look at the storyboard, but you can go to whereisbrandyhall.com.
Mm-hmm.
for the photos, the videos, the maps, and transcripts of each episode as they get released. So right now, episodes 1 and 2, the transcripts, in case there was something you didn't understand, because I have a weird, way of talking sometimes, is on there at whereisbrandyhall.com. Jessica, we left it on a cliffhanger.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, and on purpose, because that's, we want you to come back and we want you to listen to episode 3.
Soap opera level cliffhanger at the end of episode 2.
Yeah, and Rob Landers and I, we sit in his office and we, edit the entire podcast, and he's like, sort of like you, he doesn't really read any of the stuff beforehand, so he's like shaking his head like, oh my God. And each episode, it has just gotten more and more. We're editing, I think, episode 7 or 8 right now, and he's like shaking his head like he can't believe it. So there is a lot more to come. Thank you for listening and for tuning in. Remember to go to whereisbrandyhall.com for the podcast, the transcripts, the videos, the photos, the maps. Murder on the Space Coast is brought to you by Florida Today, which is a part of the USA Today network. And the podcast is available on just about every major podcast platform. Thanks.
See you later.